been just a little while since you and I last spoke. I have been very busy within my personal life, my work, and specifically within the last 2 weeks, I have been traveling out of the country. I went to, I think 11 cities, 3 countries, within 14-ish days, and I just got back yesterday. So, I wanted to share with you today some of the souvenirs and things that I bought on my trip. I hope that it might be entertaining and hopefully relaxing for you. So, if you care to listen to me just sort of ramble about my travels and the things that I brought home with me, then please join me. Now, if you care to watch any more content related to my travels, my TikTok handle, Phoebe_ASMR, same as here, has already a video related to what I packed and what I brought on my trip. But also I'll be sharing a lot more in depth about the cities and the towns I visited, my experiences, the food I tried, a lot more of that type of thing. So please feel free to join me on there if you would like. Now, without further ado, let's do today's video. I'm going to try to go in chronological order of what I bought first. So, the first thing that my husband and I got is actually one of the most fragile things. I can't believe we brought it all the way home, but we took an awful lot of care to get it here, or to get them here. There are 2 things. We've got 1 and 2 little plates. These are 2 little pottery pieces from Nicholas Moss. Let me set one down. So as you can see, this one here has a little sheep in the center of the plate, and on the back you can see the sort of stamp. This pottery manufacturing facility, I think it's all done right there, is beautiful. It is so cool. The first place we stayed in Ireland was the town of Killarney, and this pottery shop is around 20 minutes outside of town. We went to the cafe there and we spent a lot of time looking around, and I'll touch on it a little bit more when I do my travel series on TikTok, but we ended up taking home 2 little plates that we just thought were far too beautiful to pass up on, and they match our decoration style very well, so they'll probably be displayed in our kitchen. If you are ever in the area, I highly recommend going to Nicholas Moss, even if you just have a coffee and you take a look at what they have there in terms of their pottery selection. It's really cool. They let you kind of walk through a viewing facility of where the pottery is made, and I just thought it was a really unique, beautiful place, and yeah, my husband and I were very excited by it and very excited to get the chance to bring these home. So that was stop number 1. I'll try to show you where I hang them up in my home when next, the next town we stopped in, we kind of drove across the country. And our next town that we stayed in was Dingle, which is a little coastal town. But on the way, we stopped in Killarney. We actually did a couple stops, but I won't get into all that. Anyway, in Killarney, we found these beautiful prints by a Irish artist. It has some information about him here on the back. His name is Danny Line, and he grew up in the Killarney area. I left this plastic on here for the video because I think the sounds are really nice. The sticky fingers sounds. Let me know what you think. So, this little cottage is a place in Killarney. Within, they have kind of a park that's available to the public, and this is, kind of a drive that you can do. This is one of the buildings, or it's a little cottage on that drive. You can stop in here and admire the gardens and have a coffee. So my husband and I decided to grab one of these prints to display in our home and just kind of remind us of Ireland and of our trip, and just the cozy feeling that you can kind of get lost in the beautiful nature and the cozy architecture and all of the charm there. So this was the next piece that we picked up. Then my husband and I traveled on further, and we stayed in the town of Dingle. I did a little bit of shopping there just because there were so many cool artists and craftsmen and some really great local musicians there as well. We did a lot of listening to music. Let's see. So this is the first thing that I got. These are two little bitty rings. Actually, they are toe rings. But, let me show you this first one. They're both sterling silver, and this one's a little claddagh ring. I thought, why not have one for my toes? I already have a couple for my fingers and from earrings, so why not add it to the toes too? And then this one is a chunkier one with flowers. So I just love jewelry, and I love to kind of decorate myself with things that I find beautiful, and these were a good example of that. So the next day I went out and I was kind of looking in the shops. It was a really rainy day, and the next souvenir I got for myself was actually this ring right here that I am wearing, and I already wore it for the rest of the remainder of the trip, so you can see it's starting to develop some beautiful little scuff marks, which I happen to think is one of the most gorgeous things that can happen to an important piece of jewelry. So I got myself this ring. This was my big souvenir of the trip. If you've been following me or have seen some of my other videos, you might remember that I tend to use jewelry to commemorate special events or special ties close to people or places or experiences. And yeah, I decided to invest in this beautiful ring as a reminder of the trip and kind of the feeling that I had there. And I'm so glad that I got this piece of jewelry there, because every time I look at it, I will kind of remember the way that I felt, which is really cool. So every so often, I do like to treat myself to something really meaningful like that if I can. And I got this little card with it that tells you, because obviously there's different sort of symbols on the ring itself. So it'll kind of tell you what each of these different engravings means in terms of history or cultural significance. Some of them are more symbolic, some of them are more literal. But yeah, it was kind of cool that each of the symbols on the ring has some sort of significance to the country. And then in and of itself, it's kind of a symbol of significance to me. So this was the big souvenir of the trip, and I feel really special about it already. Now we'll get back to some of the other items, okay? So the next thing is really fun. I would like to show you this little tea bag. I have been on the search for her, just kind of hoping one day I might find her somewhere. And in Dingle I did find the jelly cat that I have been looking for, so take that as you will. I love that place. I had the best time there. And you know how cool it is to find something you've been looking for like that. I'm rotating her because she's kind of hollow, except for the bottom here, like an actual tea bag, but I'm hoping maybe it makes some good sounds. You let me know if it does. I hope so. It's got a cool texture on the fabric, and little eyes, and of course the little feet. I'm gonna put her with my coffee bean, and I'm gonna keep the original name on it because Steepy was just too cute. I love her. She came to every other city and town that we went to, and she made it safely home, so here she is. And that is, I think, everything that I got in Dingle. So then we kind of drove up the west side, the coastal side of the country. Stopped in a couple more places, but the next place that we ended up buying something was the city of Galway. I did get a pair of wool socks there. I just thought the colors on these were so beautiful, and I like the stripes. I did get to wear them a lot because it was chilly, so I'd wear them kind of scrunched up. And yeah, I think I'll probably wear these a lot with kind of high boots, or maybe just cozier on the house. And yeah, so they are Irish wool. I, of course, had to get something was also made of wool. It was a couple days later. But these are a pair of leg warmers. I've actually been on the search for some leg warmers, and the fact that these are made out of wool. Of course I was going to get them, so again I'll probably wear these with boots when it gets colder. They're just very good quality, very warm. And if you have purchased something from a store in Ireland, purchased a wool product, maybe you know what I mean when I say that they still smell like, I guess, wool or any sort of more country farmland area. Outside even has that sort of scent. I hope they stay smelling like that, because you smell that smell and it sort of brings back the nostalgia of the trip. So those are my leg warmers. I love them very much. I also got something else fun from a little sports shop. They had like fishing related things like bait and tackle and stuff for hunting, and then they also had something for me, which was 2 little silvery pins. So we have a hummingbird and a pike. So I picked these out for different reasons, different connections to each of them, but I just thought it would be cool to get some pins from the trip to add to my pin collection. I'll do a video on that soon. If you are interested, let me know. But here are my little pins. The guy in the shop was really nice too. I had a good little conversation with him, but yeah, I thought they were cute, and they'll go on my denim bag with my other pins and help me remember the trip. So that's just a little something. And I'll probably hang on to this bag too. I have like a little book where I keep some of those things, and sometimes I print out photos from the trip too, but that's most of what I bought. I think everything that I bought in Ireland. So we flew out of Ireland over to Austria. We went to Vienna, then Salzburg, then Innsbruck while we were in Austria. We also went to Switzerland. We went to Zurich. I did not end up buying anything there, though. It's a very pricey place. But nevertheless, let me show you what I got when we were in Austria, okay? So I have another crinkly bag for you. Let me open it up. So when I was in Vienna, boy, is there a lot to see in Vienna. Vienna is very cool, very impressive, architecturally, historically. Yeah, we were walking like 25,000 steps a day trying to see everything, and we didn't even see the first glimpse of it. I felt like one of the things we did was go to their, one of their many museums. These are our tickets. I just thought they were cute. And at the end of the museum, there's a gift shop. I don't usually go into those sort of things, but my husband saw that they had pins, and he suggested that we go, so what am I going to do? Say no? So we did go in, and I found this little owl to go with my other kind of silvery pins. These are kind of a Roman motif, I guess, within their mosaics and their tiles. They commonly had animals, they commonly had owls, so I guess that's where this sort of came from. But now he's going to join the rest of my pin friends on my bag. So I did get one more thing in the museum, and I will show that to you now, okay? It's really little, so it's hard to get him out of there. I'm gonna have a hard time showing this to you, okay? I'm holding him by his tail. Here we have a teeny tiny little glass bear. I thought his little eyes were so cute. I love that they're not quite perfect. He has a little tail and some chunky little arms and legs. I thought he was so cute. And I do collect these too. Kind of a, I don't know, atypical thing to collect. You never know where you're going to find them, so when you do find them, boy is it exciting. So I had to get this little guy. My husband picked him out. I was like getting out all of them, trying to make a decision, and he was like, "Did you see the bear?" I said no. He was like, "You're gonna want the bear. Put the other ones away." And he was right. The bear was by far the cutest one, so the bear is going to join the others now. I gotta show that collection to you guys. I think it's really cute. Maybe some of you will have interest, let me know. Then I have, it looks like one last thing, so I have this. This is not exactly like a souvenir, but we did go to a lot of different vintage shops, especially in Austria. They have fantastic vintage shopping, especially in Vienna and in Innsbruck. Innsbruck is where I found this pair of jeans. So I've been looking for a pair of diesel industry jeans. I just think they're super cool. I wanted them to fit me very well and to be long enough because I'm kind of tall. So they had to hit all of the criteria. I like this little tag here. And I found these and I thought, let me just try them on. Because it was kind of cold on the trip anyway, I kind of needed another pair of jeans. But what really sold me was that they are long enough to be cuffed at the bottom. So I don't know if I've ever had a pair of pants long enough on me that they can be cuffed, and these ones can. And I thought that was just a cool little tie to a lot of the urban and street style fashion that they have in Vienna and in Innsbruck. Salzburg too, but I saw most of it, I saw a lot of it in Vienna. kind of special that I was able to get them from Austria as a little souvenir. So, my friends, I think that's everything I got souvenir-wise on my trip. I guess I could show you as an honorable mention. I have this Essie nail polish that I bought while I was over there. My nail polish just came off while I was there, and I needed to protect my nails so they wouldn't break. This one did end up breaking. If you can't tell, he's a little shorter, but I got this nail polish. It is the shade Drip Drip 566. In case you're wondering, it's what I'm wearing in this video. I think it's pretty cute. So I guess that's technically a little bit of a souvenir too. So, my friends, I hope you found this video to be entertaining, relaxing, whatever you may have needed. And I hope you have a restful night's sleep. I hope to see you very soon, and yeah, please let me know if anything that I talked about in this video, if you'd like to hear more about it, if you're going to be going over to my